Hey, how's it going everyone? My name is Brandon Clements and welcome back to another video here on Glassand. So today what we're going to take a look at is a new modifier inside of Xparticles. So let's go ahead and jump in. So this is brand new. I'm actually using Xparticles 595, I believe, which just came out today. It was a hot fix for a couple issues. But what we're going to use is the new Infectio modifier. So I actually want to go down here and actually look at the help documents, and once that loads up, so I just wanted to say this is really cool that we have this. Toma Bogdan actually had written this, and Insidium was kind enough to actually implement it as a modifier. So it started out as a Python script. So what this does is we actually have an incubating color and then we have an infected color. So it switches from incubating to affected dependent on the search radius and how many can be infected at a time. So it's really cool. This is like a new growth system that we have inside of Xparticles, and I hope you guys will see how awesome this is just from this example. So it looks like here we have just the default settings. I think I actually turned this up, so I'll turn this back down to 1. But let's go ahead and add a new seed object. So what this will do is this will be a kind of source of infection. And the only thing I've done to set the scene up for you guys, I went to object, set it to object mode, put in a torus. And then I also went into emission, turn it to shot, and we have about 5,000 particles at the beginning of our scene with a radius of 3 and a display that is set to circles. Okay, so we get this default green color, but look at that. That is so awesome that we have the tools available to look at neighboring particles and actually change their color. So it's not just their color that it's changing. I mean, it is visually. Let me go ahead and hide the torus. But what this actually means for us is that we can do a number of things with this system. So one of which is, and I think it's one of the best ways to do it, is change this to use groups. So now what we can do is, let me just change my emitter name here to something like Infectio. And then we can come into groups. And let's go ahead and say, we're going to just use the first group only, and then we'll create 2 groups. Okay, so this will be the, let's see what our verbiage is here so I don't confuse everyone. This will be incubating group. So incubating group. And we're going to create another group, and this will be, you guessed it, the infected group. Okay, and let's just change the color icon so we can see the difference between the two. All right, and then we come back down to our modifier. Let's place our incubating group, and then last but not least, our infected group. And then let's go ahead and start this over. And awesome, as you can see, the incubating group is just staying green, just like our natural color of the emitter. So everything here is just spawned instantly, and then we're changing to purple. So we can change the search radius group here, or I'm sorry, just the search radius. So now you can see that it spreads very quickly, and this may be the effect that you want, but look how organic and natural this looks. And it's a lot better than, you know, you could do this earlier, but you would have to actually use like a change group modifier, and you wouldn't get this kind of natural organic look that we're getting across this torus. Let me go ahead and just add a little bit more particles so that we can see it happen again. And yeah, this looks really awesome, and I think this is such a cool effect. And notice this is happening from the seed, and we can have more than one. So let's just place this one. Wow, just let me place it here. And then we can just move this over to the side. And, you know, we kind of put it exactly where we want. We can change the scale of it. We can animate the radius. There's so much that you can do with this, and the possibilities are really endless. So let's just kind of start this over. And there we go. It kind of spreads from both sides. So you can do reveals with this. You can actually add a generator to this. And then let's do something like the OpenVDB mesher. And then the sources will be the infected group. So then, you know, you would actually want to come down to the filters and add like a Gaussian, and you probably want to add like an offset. And what this will allow you to do is kind of make it almost like the same kind of thickness, and then maybe look at the Gaussian and kind of blast that away a little bit more. And then there's so much more that you'd have to tweak with the voxel size and the point radius. So let's just change this down to like 3. There we go. So we turn it down to a slight, kind of level there. So you can actually kind of just grow this out, which is just so awesome. I mean, there's just so many ways that this can be useful to you. So let's go ahead and really quick, I'm just going to use cycles to show you how awesome that this can be. And I'm going to hit the Shift C just to say emission, and we'll just use the XP color emission and throw that on to the infected group. And let's just hide our mesher just for a second. And then we'll go ahead and preview that. So yeah, there's just there's so many ways that you can actually grow this out and create some really cool animations with this. One thing that I like to do with the cycles kind of emission color is to add a new, let's say, transparent, and then we're going to do an additive result between the two shaders. And what this will do is just kind of give you this additive look. So as particles kind of pile up on top of each other, so imagine like you're seeing through, we get this additive blend between the particles, which can be a really nice, cool looking effect that you would want to actually, create. So I would do something with a smaller radius size. Of course, you're going to have to change that here on your group now that it's a group, and do something like 1, and spawn a lot more particles, and do something really fancy here. Then of course we can come into the actual camera tag, and let's turn up the radius, and then let's actually get a point that we want to focus on. So I'll just use my little picker here and come back into the radius again. And it would be nice if we actually were looking through the camera. So now we have this really cool looking effect. And then let's turn the blade count up, go into our post effects, add some really cool bloom. What I like to do is just kind of, use this threshold to get a tasteful kind of look. And I never use glare because it's kind of ridiculous, like how powerful it is. But, you can always tweak the settings. So, and then we'll do just like a basic kind of medium contrast. But yeah, this is basically it. I mean, let your imagination run wild on how you can actually set up these two different groups. I mean, you can use anything from the generators. Of course, you can use the Open VDB Mesher to create something really, really cool. So you can actually, in this new one, you can say you want to transfer the point color. And then let's just add a, let's just say another principled shader. So we'll just throw this onto the Open VDB Mesher. And there you can kind of see it kind of showing up. We can add this point attribute back into our shader. So we'll just take the color from that and put it into the base color. And then what we need to do is just add a light. So let's just go up to light and just kind of point that down a little bit. I think by default this light is it's a point light. So let's just go ahead and turn it to area light and just bring that up there. And yeah, there's just so much that you can do with this. I hope this kind of opens up the possibilities and the imagination. Oh, one more thing. I keep adding to this, but if you go into your trail object and then you just come down and add your emitter, not a group, and then set this to the new mode that is Infectio, and then let's restart this, and I'll just turn off my Open VDB Mesher. And then what we want to do here is, again, I'm just going to use a little command and just say emission, and then we're going to go to trail color. We're just going to double click that, put that onto our trails, And then you can also go to Cycles 4D tags and add a curve. So this is pretty cool because you can get this looking like really super thin. And yeah, you can just kind of create this like cellular kind of look to everything. Let me just zoom in here a little bit. Just really, really fun stuff. And, you know, we can bump that up so that you can get a different thickness on the start. And then like you can make this really tiny on the end. So something cool like that. And then of course you can always use this curve to kind of adjust the look exactly how you want it. Yeah. So I absolutely love using Cycles. It's actually very fast, and it works great for motion graphics. You know, of course, like any renderer, there's no real silver bullet out there, but I really think that it marries X particles so well together because you have all of this information, of course, like from the vertex tags. You know, you don't have to render the incubating group, which is pretty awesome. That's harder to do in other third-party renderers for Cinema 4D. And you also get access to all of these attributes. Like, of course, here we're just using the trail, but you can use particle colors. You know, over time, you can change these colors. You know, you don't have to like stay with this purple group. You can come over here to a parameter and set it to age. So now it starts really blue, and then over time, it will change to this brighter color. And if we want it to get brighter sooner, you know, it's just as easy as like pulling these down so that the age comes in. I guess the effect of this will come in sooner. So let's restart this. And there you can see it's getting brighter white. And then also, we'll just use our little trick again just to make this look really cool. Shader, add shader. We're going to actually do the same thing with the transparent BSDF. So, you know, we can just add it like this. You can do mix shaders. You can add Fresnel so that it's only like coming through on the edges. And I mean, just look how cool that looks. I mean, in no time at all, I'm just sitting here with a recording, just kind of going at it and just tweaking and playing. But you can come up with some really great looking stuff. And I mean, this is just a torus. You know, this using these different seeds and coming down in here and, you know, changing this multiplier here or the search radius or how many can become infected at once. It's just so awesome. I mean, this just opens so many possibilities and doors to doing reveals, to growing in more organic shapes into your XP systems, and it's just awesome. I can't really say any more about that. Okay, so I guess I'll go ahead and wrap that up here. If you guys have any questions about what I've showcased here, if you want to see more stuff with Cycles and X particles, definitely let me know. I just kind of wanted to upload this just because, well, one, I haven't done a video in like 2 months, which is crazy with all the changes that I've had to go through recently with new office and working with new people and new clients. It's been really great, but I've fallen behind on videos and stuff. So let me know what you want to see in the comment section below. Give this a thumbs up or thumbs down. That really helps me kind of curate the content. And I'll be talking to you guys really soon. So thanks so much. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.